Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the match that could very well be a finals matchup. It is going to be MC from Team OGS versus Bomber from Team StarTale.
Do these guys even need an introduction? Oh my god, this is absolutely incredible. As you said, this could be a GSL Code S final, but we're in Dreamhack, we're in Sweden. This is just the quarterfinal, man.
These players are so good. MC, a two-time GSL winner, the only Protoss to do that. Bomber was an unknown several months ago, but recently has demonstrated that he has some of the best tactical decision-making of anyone in the business. In Terran vs. Terran, crushing all of his opponents, even able to take out Happy, who seemed to have that impenetrable defense. And then we did get to see Bomber versus Mana, where Bomber showcased some amazing opening builds, able to take out Mana at times when Protoss seemed to have the strongest defense.
And then looking at MC's results, went 5-0 in the groups, then went on to the brackets. 2-0 versus Idra, 2-0 versus Hazuobs, crushing the foreign scene, but now has to face off against the fellow Korean. And this is going to prove to be one of the best games of the tournament, I'm sure, and I'm so excited to get into this one.
Keep in mind, this is the only Terran left in the tournament. In the upper bracket, Huck won his game against Sake. And July narrowly edged out a win against Sen 2-1. So that means that Huck versus July will be the other semifinal match. As we're casting this game, Total Biscuit and the Little One are going to be casting Naniwa versus Moon.
That's another great game too.
So in the lower bracket, we have 3 Koreans right now, but today, right now, we will only be watching these two. These two champions have just said that they are ready.
Oh my god, I'm getting
30 seconds
chills.
until the match starts. The game is going to be on Crossfire, a map that these Koreans are extremely well versed on.
And just looking at the results of these two players against each other, they haven't played in a while. The last time they did play was about a month ago in the GSTL, where MC took the win, but previously to that, Bomber has beaten him a couple times. The actual record, though, is 5-5.
Wow,
5 for MC,
wow.
5 for Bomber, so very close between these two guys.
And it looks like the countdown is just about to begin. The good luck, have fun, good game. Both these players extremely mannered, absolutely have deep respect for each other. And the game is now going to begin between OGSMC and StarTale's Bomber. It is currently 11:30 in the morning. Thank all of you for coming out this morning, and for the thousands and thousands, actually we're at the tens of thousands of people tuned in live on the stream right now. The game screen has loaded. And so it begins. In the top left corner, the blue Protoss player, OGS MC. It's hard to give an introduction to these players because they are some of the biggest inspirations in the entire game. In the bottom left, the man I love to call Street Bomber, but no, it is StarTale's Bomber! And it looks like the only thing we know, no cheese incoming yet. Both these players going to open at the very least.
And as you said, the winner of this game will be going ahead against the winner of Moon vs. Naniwa, which is happening exactly right now at the same time as we are doing this game. And this is going to prove to be one of the best games of the tournament, as I did mention before, on Crossfire. And as you said, both players haven't played this map a lot. This map does come up so much in the GSL. And they're going to have a lot of experience against it, and both have absolutely fantastic training partners within their own team. And we're going to have to see who can come on top of this and advance into the semifinals.
There's a lot of very weird formations on this map. Bomber now throwing down his barracks. Gateway going down for MC. If we take a look at the natural expansion, has these 2 entrances. This probe going down the first. This is a great place for early tanks. We see a lot of one-base aggression by Terrans, but don't forget about this counterattack path that also leads up to a 3rd base. So in particular, of all maps in the map pool, this map, Crossfire, has the biggest tie between unit movement and where you expand. If you are not able to defend your expansions, you can easily fall behind in that resource race.
And as we've seen, Bomber's style throughout the tournament, consistently staying for the same kind of style, going for this one barracks expand. Has to be careful as that SCV is taking a few hits, but is going to go ahead and scout anyway. But as I was saying, he is going to go for this one barracks expand, build a few marines. Ooh, a little cute block there with the probe.
So it looks like Bomber valuing his late game. We haven't quite gotten the delight of seeing how he plays off that one Rax early expand. We see MC is taking his second gas. Once again, several months ago, the no-gas early expands were paramount in PvT styles, but lately Protosses have been favoring lots of early gateways, in particular, using those sentries to rip apart the early Marine Marauder pressure that the Terrans have been throwing out. So it looks like MC may be going for that. At this point in time, this is the most broad opening for Protoss. It leaves the most possibilities available.
And as you can see now, the Cybernetics Core and the Gateway are being chrono boosted. Stalker is going to come out to deny that SCV Scout. And the double gas, as you said, was down before the Zealot, or before the usually you do see a Zealot first normally, but no, he did go for that gas. So we're going to have to see what he decides to do. Is he going to go for some kind of Sentry expand, maybe DTA expand? There's lots of different possibilities. We'll have to see which which MC does do. And on the other hand, Bomber down here going for 2 barracks now. Usually there's 2 different openings you can do. You can go for double refineries quite fast and then go into factory play. But no, he's actually going to go with 3 barracks from here.
When will these gas geysers go down? Looks like going to immediately get them once he does have the 150 minerals. That does mean that we're likely going to see Bomber begin to go for some kind of tech lab play. And, you know, MC just pokes up, takes a lot of damage, but keep in mind those shields do heal very quickly. Definitely going to be able to heal back up. And the Nexus going down for MC.
Double refinery has now been taken by Bomber. And he will be wanting to go into them refineries ASAP and then start to add on the tech lab, the reactor. Maybe the usual kind of, the way that it's spread out is usually 2 tech labs and a reactor, but does not want to go for them all at once because he doesn't really know what exactly MC is doing. If you look at his vision, he has no idea, just sees that 1 gateway. This could be anything, so he really needs to get a few more units out to be safe against anything. And it looks like he's going to be sending out a follow-up scout to actually see, does this guy have anything outside my base? Is it safe to expand?
Bomber advancing forward now, throwing down a bunker. Now, interestingly, the way we have seen Bomber do this once before, most foreigner players love rushing to get out that stim. But interestingly, we are seeing a factory come down right now for Bomber. Looks like he will be trying to go for that relatively fast Starport Harassment 1 tech lab going down. But only 1, not getting those Marauders too early on. Right now, MC stockpiling up sentries. So definitely going to be strong against that Marine Marauder force early, and 2 more gateways going down, but no Robo, no other tech structures for MC.
And the Stalker does poke around the bunker, does see that now Bomber has taken that expansion. MC taking zone expansion, transferring a healthy amount of probes down to there, adding on a couple more gateways. Will he be going on to add a robotics facility here? It's the usual building we'd like to see from this, the most standard tech path for MC to choose. In the meantime, Stim has now begun on that tech lab inside the base of Bomber, and Reactor added on to the factory, ready for that starport switchover so he can begin to build those medivacs, as you mentioned.
Now, in general, the way we've seen a lot of North American, a lot of European Terrans open up, they either get the medevacs very quickly or get the stim very quickly. What we're seeing Bomber do is that he ends up with a lot of Marines early on and then gets the stim and the medevacs a little bit later, but he gets both of them much earlier than a player would expect. Again, the Protosses generally think the stim or the medevacs are going to be coming quickly. Rarely do they end up seeing both at such a good time, and it looks like MC is going to go for it. Going to try to shut this down before it gets started. He is advancing forward, but Bomber has a very high amount of units out, and the force fields wrap all the way around the bunkers. Bunker's still staying alive. MC looks like he was not able to break through, but has done some damage. In the unit loss tab, we see that MC is the one who's coming out behind in that exchange.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't really break through that. Even though the force wheels were good, there was just too many units. Both bunkers, well, 1 bunker filled, 1 bunker half filled, and a lot of spare units on the ground. And Stim is nearing completion now, so this has definitely been shut down, and he has to retreat into the rest of his tech. And as you can see, the robotics facility has been begun now, and Medivac on the way up. Just the 1, though, doesn't quite have the gas necessarily. He's going to need to add on these double refineries onto this natural expansion. 1 just being begun, and 2 Medivacs now are moving to the right-hand side here. And, look at this position of this probe, though, on the right-hand side of the map, Sean. And he's going to spot these Medivacs quite early on here.
But keep in mind, Bomber is going to the money angle. Even if this does get spotted, once he picks off this pylon, he has the choice of either dropping the natural expansion or dropping into the main. MC is going to have a very, very watchful eye and be very careful with that unit positioning. We do see 1 probe outside the front with a pylon, spotting the Marine, and here's the drop moving along the right side. MC is going to spot it.
MC spots it now as it is in his vision. And even the medivacs go idle above that pylon for a little bit and are just going to go ahead and take that. And in the meantime, MC sending out a probe to the bottom right-hand location to scout. Does Bomber have a third base? And he will see there is nothing there. And 2 more medivacs full of units. This is going to be a very deadly drop. Stim has finished. The concussive shells about to be completed as well. Does MC have enough units here, though?
I mean, this is just such a sick amount of units popping in early. Combat shield not done, but we see, wow, Bomber might be walking right into some stalkers. Oh no! He's trying to bait the medivacs up, and wow, MC barely going to be able to hold this off, but it looks like Bomber is not done yet. He's going to try to sneak up the side. Will MC see it? Uh-oh, this is an incredibly tense spot because as we see, oh, that blink is 10 seconds from finishing. That would be an easy way for MC to pick off those medivacs.
And look at this in the south location. We do have a pylon being constructed here. This will be used to harass any expansion that does start to build in that bottom right-hand location. And now Bomber unloading all his units in the center of the map, looking to see if he can do some damage anywhere around. We'll go ahead and get rid of that pylon. Meanwhile, in the base of Bomber now, we do have the combat shield starting. +1 infantry weapons is being started also, and now a Ghost Academy being added on as well.
I mean, one thing I absolutely love about Bomber's play, getting a second reactor instead of the typical 1 barracks with a reactor play. This means he's building more Marines. He can save up that additional gas, get those ghosts earlier, get those upgrades earlier, and most importantly, still have a little bit of extra resources for Vikings. And as we see, looks like the extended thermal lance is being researched in the production tab. We see 1 Colossus coming out, another will be up eventually, but it looks like, uh-oh. Bomber needs to be really careful. Blink is done.
MC does poke around with a blink. And this timing attack really just before the Colossus are going to come out. 2 medivacs fill. But look, an observer right on top of that army is going to see the medivacs. And with blink.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. And he looks like he will get 1 and 2. But wow, Bomber trying to take the opportunity to rush in. It is not going to happen. Trying to load up. But will he lose another one? No, Bomber taking a pretty heavy hit early on. We do see those 3 ghosts getting produced right now, and in the bottom corner, a single blink stalker here can pick off any units trying to take an expansion. Extremely cautious play by MC, but very clairvoyant, to be honest, getting the exact correct upgrades in the right order to deal with this fast medevac play.
And a lot of units of MC moving down the map now. He has so many gateway units so fast in here, and we'll be taking the 3rd base while putting a bit of pressure back onto Bomber. As the Colossus are finished now, Thermalance not too far away from finishing, and we're going to need to see Bomber transition over into the Viking production soon. Otherwise, these Colossus are going to do a lot of damage, and Ghosts are going to be very vital in here. If they can get some very important EMPs off against these sentries, could really change the tide of that battle if these sentries wouldn't have any energy to place those force fields down.
Now we see this command center is done. Keep in mind, though this does look like the obvious place to take a 3rd, if Bomber wants to be aggressive, then this left expansion actually ends up being the safest to take, as Bomber can move constantly through the center of the map and defend it. We do see MC moving down with a lot of his blink stalkers. He's going to try to do little pokes and prods here, and this one brilliantly planted observer, but uh-oh, looks like he might see that ripple. And no, he does not notice it. It looks like MC's going to try to get in position.
And here we go, MC. These blink stalkers on the right hand side not really in decent position here, and Bomber is going to move through the map now as 1-1 is very close to completion. +2 also for MC, very close. Nice force field here blocking those units from coming up, but Bomber is going to elevate up here, but two Colossus are here.
He does get a ghost. Very smart play by MC. Oh no, oh no! He does expend a blink, so he's going to try to run away, and he is engaging. He loses both the Colossi!
Uh-oh.
A key misstep by OGS MC. MC miscontrolling these blink stalkers, had all his focus there. Can he end up getting the EMP that he needs? And he does!
What a big EMP! Oh my god, that was huge!
But we see the speed zealot numbers are through the roof. Sentries and zealots trying to attack, and in the back we have all the blink stalkers cutting off the reinforcements, but it looks like it is not enough. Storm is down, gets 2 big storms. Is the blink stalker force gonna be enough? Oh my goodness!
How did MC hold that?
He gets 1 medevac. Can he get them all? Yes.
What? He loses 2 Colossus, Blinkstalker's caught out of position, and then 2 incredible EMPs go down, yet he holds.
I mean, just immaculate comeback right there by MC, who slipped, faltered, but regained his footing, did not panic. Goes to show you how important those control decisions are in those sorts of battles. Right now, Bomber beginning to add on more medevacs, but if we look at this natural expansion. The Apollo, it is almost completely mined out. In the main, also completely done. This left expansion is going to be key. 5 mules popping down right now. In the income tab, we see both players starting to get a little bit low.
Definitely. I mean, if we look at MC, just the same really. 500 on the mineral patches on the natural, and only 200, some even running out now in the main. All their resources are being invested into units because they need every little bit of an extra army advantage in this game. And now MC is moving through the map. Has a little bit of better of a position here. Not too many ground units for Bomber here.
Uh-oh, Bomber needs to get into a good position. In particular, he needs perfect EMPs. There, the Ghosts in the back starting to do damage, but we see all the Zealots arrive. The sensor tower is going to fall down as well. Oh, EMP on all the Templar. He needs to control these units perfectly, though. The Archons are going to be popping up soon. MC is on the retreat, and Bomber on the retreat. MC on the offensive. Does he know that this expansion is here?
Yes, he does. He saw a transfer of SCVs, and he's going to go up there and kill all these SCVs, and that is a lot. And Bomber needs to do something here, but he's just out of position.
He's trying to micro against these units, but he loses the command center in the middle of the map. Zealots ripping apart the reinforcements. Bomber, oh my goodness, says good game! And Star Tails Bomber, who has seemed almost unstoppable in this matchup, losing game 1 to MC.
And this is a best of 3, so MC 1 game away from advancing into the semi-finals. And what a close game that was. And wow, all about positions on that map, Crossfire. And unfortunately, Bomber could not get any surface area to even try to engage that army. And especially with the Zealots coming up, then reinforcements could not do anything against that strong +2, almost +3 army of MC.
And you have to think about the brilliance of MC's opening. Bomber began with those 3 barracks, started stockpiling units very quickly, and then got the stim fast, and immediately got the medevacs fast. And very few Terrans are exploiting this mass medevac drop style, but oh my gosh, birds flying overhead. My gosh, that's what happens when we cast outdoors here in the Day 9 TV tent. Now keep in mind though, Blink first, extremely unusual in this matchup. Almost always see the Colossus or the Zealot legs get favored, but MC perfectly defending against the drops, using those Blink Stalkers to pick off medevac after medevac, and when the final push came, it didn't even matter. The Bomber had the perfect EMPs.
And I can't believe how MC squeezed in Templar Archives, the upgrade, and High Templar, while going for Colossus, very sentry heavy. And that really changed that battle. If he hadn't have had those storms, it looked like Bomber could have quite easily taken down that natural, but those High Templar were made just in time and had just the right amount of energy to completely change that battle.
I mean, the Stalkers distracting from behind, just elaborate micro battles going on.